we can have a conversation about it. So this marketing class, I had never really done marketing, and in the past, I think I assumed marketing was advertising um, and branding, really. I didn't really realize how much quantitative numbers you can put around it. So I've been a lead on one of the projects in marketing. So I've learned very quickly about a lot of the different aspects of marketing and have really, really enjoyed this class. We're just finishing it. We have one more class to go. So most classes are 7 to 8 classes spread out over different weekends. Some weekends you might have two of the same class. But regardless, they tend to spread over 2 or 3 months. So we're always getting new classes as that other one's finishing. But the parallels to coaching for marketing is that marketing isn't just about selling products, it's also about selling your vision. So for coaches, it's about selling that vision to players, parents, even the fans. I mean, selling your brand. Like, what is your brand as a coach? What do you want to represent? Segmentation. So that's a big thing in the marketing world, understanding the different customers, different why they buy, what their customer journey is no different than understanding the different types of players. So rookies versus veterans, skilled players versus grit players, and how to connect with each group and each different type of player. And how do you get your message across to those different groups? And that's going to be different. And you'll see big companies will market to different segments in different ways. Um, Positioning. So just as you position a product in the market, you're positioning your team's identity. And are you hard to play against? Are you a run and gun team? What is your team's identity? And how are you going to continuously reinforce that with your team? So that's what others see from you. So if you were to ask opponents or coaches that you're coaching against, how do you see our team versus how you internally project your team? That could be two different things, and you're not being congruent. So being aware of that. Recruiting, scouting players is like marketing to your ideal customer segment, right? You want to bring in the right people for the right fit on your team. Maybe that's not always able to be done, depending on if you're just given a team or maybe you're picking a team, but ensuring that the players are fitting into the system as well, and that system is reinforced and is projected outwards as well. So you have an idea of what that system is. The motivation. So each player buys in for different reasons and they buy in differently. The look that the players might have for how they buy in might also be very different. Some might be more laissez-faire, some might be super gung-ho. Some might need stats, others might need stories, just like customers who respond to very different types of marketing. So the takeaway for coaches is that great coaches are great communicators and that you need to sell your vision every single day. This class also has taught me a lot about learning as well and not shying away from new learning. So because I was the lead, we did a go-to-market project, and it was not easy. We had to come up with a product and get it to market basically, and go through all the different layers of the marketing. But because as the lead, I was tasked with how to pitch that project to the class. And so I had to do a commercial. And I didn't know how to do a commercial. I didn't know about any of these programs, but I did it all on AI. So I want to show you guys the commercial I did, because when you're watching this commercial, remember that I have generated each one of the scenes in AI. And I didn't know anything about this 2 weeks ago. So this was done on a website called Polo AI. But it's crazy to think that these are not real people and they're not real scenarios. I've just typed in prompts to AI for this. So without further ado, here's my commercial. Remember it. Oh, hold on. Wait just a second. You probably can't hear anything, can you? I'm going to just share. I'm going to stop share and then I'm going to reshare my screen so I can reshare it with sound. Okay. So, debut. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. These are not real people. Just remember that. It's crazy. That's also not a real car seat. It's not a real thing. That's what's crazy. This donkey was just a picture, and I asked it to animate the donkey. Oh, I don't know why it went to the let me just finish that. One second. I might have to watch the thing again. Oh, this is my let's go to all right. Almost done.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's it. It like that just floored me that it within well, really within 2 or 3 days, without knowing anything about any AI, anything like that, to go on a website, to just watch a tutorial on YouTube. And what I love about taking this class is that it forces you to find the solutions. And so you're being pushed in all these different directions. And I would have never felt confident to be able to do this. But like, this can be obviously, we all think at various different ages that we aren't capable of learning something new or but this really just shows you when you're put in a pressure cooker that you can. And so that I just often forget that. So thinking about how I can relate all of these lessons and all of these learnings to my actual business. And so I'm just going to end here with, let me just go back to um, the final few things here. So just a thank you. This opportunity has been a real, I think, growth. Yeah, very grateful for getting the opportunity to do this and to be able to meet such incredible people that I would have never thought that I would have ever met. And really, that's what you ask of every experience. And every coach and every season brings you new people and new people that you get to have an impact on, but also that can have an impact on you. So I think that's overall how it relates is the opportunity for growth.
That was an
And
amazing
that's it.
video. Yeah.
Right? Like I'm super proud of it, but it's also crazy that I, as a new person to this, could do that
Yeah.
in less than a week.
You might go into that in terms of a real life thing.
I
Uh,
mean, I don't know about that, but like,
you have a
yeah,
talent for it. I'm looking at your painting, you're artistic, and it was amazing. Really, it was really
like
really good.
the fact that those are not real people, not real actors in some studio somewhere, that it's just all artificial intelligence generated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. It really reminded me of some of my travels and the
Yeah,
stress and not stress. So
right. Yeah, that's what we're trying to go for.
I remember being in the tube in London, and you know how there's these things
Oh yeah, it's
all over.
crazy, and
I,
it's stairs going down.
oh,
Yeah,
I had no idea which one to do. So I'm trying to ask somebody in London, and they're just sipping by me, like
right.
they don't want to talk or whatever. And then I have the same situation in Copenhagen, and this woman stopped, and she took me probably 200 yards to the right tube, and absolutely different, totally different experience.
Yeah,
Just in a
it's
different
like
places.
lights go on, right? And you're just like, ah, this is perfect.
So that one stressful and the one relaxed one. There's like,
Yeah.
Sammy, you you talked about selling your vision and knowing the customers. And years ago, I've heard a number of speakers at hockey talk about hockey. Hockey coaches are salesmen, and they really, that word is so true at the business level and professional level. I'm not sure would I'd use that word. There's a negative connotation for me for
Right.
my
It sounds kind of icky when you say salesman, but you're right. You're selling the vision. When
yes.
you think of it that way, you're selling that.
Yeah. And I had one. It sort of summarizes everything in terms of the very first or one of your early chapters. Um, the knowing your why as a leader, knowing why you're doing what you're doing is a critical point. And one of our midget coaches was at the coaches site conference, and he heard a speaker, a lady that's actually a CEO of an NFL football team, and she talked about have standards, not rules. Her
Hmm.
whole
I
talk
love
was
that.
based on that because in sports, every organization has create your rule book, your outline, and lay down what you're going to do, and it's not inclusive type of thing. It comes from the top down, and the idea of rules versus standards does that enter into the business world?
I mean, I feel like yeah, I mean, you guys know that it is very similar and that I think in the business world, um, obviously there's different things on the line, but that um, there's always nuance. And I think in today's business landscape, understanding that different people bring different things at different times. And knowing that as a leader, yes, you have to be able to discipline, you have to be able to get people working in the same direction but there's so much more to life than just this person's business. And so people are going to make mistakes. There's going to be situations that don't go the way you want them to. There's going to be all these. So I love that idea of standards because yes, we can fail a standard and we can, there can be repercussions for that. Rules almost feels like you're in or you're out. And you don't always mean to not do it right. You don't mean to not be able to put in your 100%. You don't mean to do that stuff. But that's the same with minor hockey coaching. Like, the parent is late because they couldn't get off their shift, or maybe they work at a hospital and they were saving a life, or they were mopping up after a life was just being saved, and then their kid's late for hockey. And so, like, you blame the kid. Well, there's got to be standards, so maybe there's a little bit of a repercussion, but understanding the situation, I think, as a coach is so key to developing that trust and to having empathy in all those situations, and realizing that rules can be bent a little bit. Yeah, and maybe that's what we call a standard. But I love that idea that she framed it in that way.
Well, I've really enjoyed having you come on, Sammy, as as usual. I hope we do something like this again, and we can literally give you any topic, and you would come in very prepared, I'm sure, with a PowerPoint and put put together another video with AI. um, I'll throw this at you. The You did a commercial, and I'm wondering about doing a commercial of the good of the game, looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mhm.
It's reality,
Yeah.
and I know you don't have time, but the sport needs it desperately.
Mhm.
And hockey
Well, we have
can,
a individual a class. I don't know what it's called. It's coming up, but it's a individual assignment class, some sort of class that you have to work on for 2 or 3 months. Anyways, I really want to reposition it and focus it on my business, and how to grow my business. I mean, obviously, there's reasons that I'm taking this, and to be able to maximize and optimize what I do so that I can give back to the game as well. Um, and so part of that, I think, is going to be learning a lot more of these tools to be able to become quicker and more efficient at them, and maybe be able to generate more videos like that, or just, have more of a presence for people that are making a difference, like you and Tom, that are um, creating that legacy, and that can be shared and disseminated. Because I think right now the culture of hockey is, there's just a lot of people that see the bad, and there is so much good within the game. And I think we need to highlight that so that people are not getting lost in the bad, and maybe aren't being um, turning into those crazy hockey parents, but being able to see the end result that we all end up playing back at some point, or coaching minor hockey. So how do we get there in a safe, positive way?